I said, matching his tone. "My staff need supervision." "Very well. I'll give you time to unload and have Mrs. Higgins meet you in the kitchen to show you to your rooms in half an hour." He dipped his head and stepped back. I waved to the driver of the van to tell him to follow, and we drove slowly around the house. At the rear, the facade of a 19th-century stately home nestled deep in the home counties fell away, and the house became just a big mid-20th-century American house on a huge lot.
"This is so exciting." Jayne clapped her hands. "I've lived in West London most of my life and always wondered what this place is like. People talk about it, but no one's ever been invited inside. No one I know anyway, not even my mom. She's insanely jealous that we're spending the whole weekend here and she has to miss it."
I parked close to what I took to be the kitchen door, and the van pulled in beside me. The weekend catering staff, otherwise known as Detective Ryan Ashburton, jumped down from the van. "Impressive place," he said. "I've seen better," I said. Jayne and Ryan both laughed.
"Gemma Doyle, you can be such an English snob sometimes,"
Jayne said, and I grinned at her. "We have half an hour to take the food in and get it put away," I said to Ryan, "before the housekeeper shows us to our rooms." "The housekeeper? Was that guy who spoke to you out front the organizer of this shindig?"
"Of course not," Jayne said. "That was the butler."
"A housekeeper and a butler," Ryan said. "Fancy."
"Fancy," Jayne said, "is the word for this gig."
I opened the unlocked kitchen door while Ryan and Jayne started unloading the van. We, meaning Jayne, were here to cook and serve 6 meals, plus drinks, snacks and nibbles, and so we'd brought a lot of stuff. In addition to what we'd need to feed the weekend house guests, the van was packed with assorted paraphernalia I'd grabbed off the shelves at my store, the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop and Emporium. Jayne didn't run a catering business. She was busy enough as the head baker, part owner and manager of Mrs. Hudson's tea room. Ryan Ashburton didn't normally work as sous chef and dishwasher, and I didn't make a habit of combining my own meagre cooking skills with the role of Sherlockian expert, because I'm neither a cook nor a Sherlock expert. But Donald Morris, who is a Sherlock expert, a regular patron of my shop and a good and loyal friend, had sung Jayne's and my praises to the organizer of this weekend. We were being paid for our troubles, and paid very well indeed. Well enough for us to leave our businesses in the hands of our assistants for the weekend after Columbus Day, when most of the tourist hordes had left the Cape and the slow season began. Jayne's mother, Leslie, was looking after my dogs, Violet and Peony, as my great-uncle Arthur, also a Sherlock expert, would be joining the house party as a guest. This house is no more than a 10-minute drive from my place, but we'd been offered overnight accommodation, so why not take it? Particularly as we were expected to be on hand to serve late-night drinks and hearty hot breakfasts. This weekend would be all Sherlock Holmes all the time. Our host, David Masterson, was a prominent, not to mention rich, Sherlockian. He'd been wanting to organise a special weekend for his fellow followers of the great detective for a long time, but a suitable venue hadn't presented itself. Last year, the owner of Suffolk Gardens House, a 20th-century replica of an English stately home, died, and his heirs immediately put the house up for sale. They weren't getting a lot of offers, if any, so in order to bring in some income, the house was rented out for special occasions. Donald told David about it. David realised the property was perfect for what he had in mind, and here we were today. The English stately country home feeling fell away when we walked into the kitchen. Instead of a warm Aga, heavily trod and creaking floorboards, scrubbed pine workbenches, brick walls, elderly wet dogs snoozing under the rocking chair next to an open fireplace, there were 2 top-of-the-line ovens, a huge gas range, stainless steel freezer and fridge, a white marble-topped island about the size of a small Caribbean country, rows of bright orange cabinets, and a glass and chrome table surrounded